you ever notice how some women look at you, not with admiration, but with curiosity? Like they're trying to figure you out. That's not confusion, that's attraction. And you probably don't even see it. Most men don't realize how magnetic they actually are. You've been told that attraction is only about perfect looks, status, or money. But what really makes a man attractive is something quieter, deeper, and harder to fake. It's the energy you carry. And the truth is, if you've ever felt invisible, it's not because you lack attractiveness. It's because you've been trained to doubt it. You see, real attraction doesn't announce itself. It hides in the micro expressions, the subtle body language, the moments when someone's eyes linger just a second too long before they look away. And you, being logical, miss it because no one ever taught you that women often express interest indirectly through signals that are emotional, not verbal. What I've learned as a psychologist is that many men are far more attractive than they believe, not in the Instagram perfect sense, but in the way women feel safe, seen, or challenged around them. A woman might not say a word, but her nervous laughter, the way she plays with her hair, or even her sudden silence, those are all her nervous system reacting to your presence. You think attraction is only about confidence, but real confidence is quiet. It's when a man doesn't need validation, when he's at peace in his own skin. That kind of calm energy, it disarms women. It makes them lean in emotionally, even when they can't explain why. So maybe right now you think you're average, but if people often underestimate you, if you notice others listening when you speak, if women sometimes seem both drawn to and intimidated by you, that's not coincidence. That's your energy revealing itself before you do. You've probably had moments where you enter a room and the atmosphere subtly shifts. A few people glance your way. A woman's tone softens when she talks to you, or maybe she avoids eye contact completely. Most men misread that avoidance as disinterest. But in truth, when a woman can't look at you directly, it often means you make her nervous, in the best way possible. Her body reacts before her logic catches up. That's the hidden side of attraction, the one men rarely notice. You don't need to chase it, prove it, or fake it. You just have to recognize it, because the moment you do, you'll stop acting like the invisible man and start realizing that the power was always in how you carried yourself, not what you looked like. Have you ever wondered why some women seem to test you, teasing you, questioning you, or even pulling away right when things feel good? Most men see that as rejection, but what they're actually witnessing is emotional curiosity. It's how attraction hides behind resistance. When a woman feels drawn to a man she can't fully read, she instinctively pushes to see if his presence is real or just an act. And if you've ever noticed women doing that to you, you're probably far more attractive than you think. True attraction isn't always comfortable. It creates tension. It makes people act strange. They fidget, laugh too loudly, or challenge you over small things. That tension is a chemical signal, a deep biological reaction that says, "This person affects me." If you've ever had women act hot and cold, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because they're feeling something they can't control and testing whether it's safe to feel it. And here's a secret very few men understand. Attraction and comfort can't exist at the same time. A woman can feel deeply attracted or deeply at ease, but rarely both in the early stages. The men who think they're too nice are usually the ones who made her comfortable but not excited. The men who think they mess things up are often the ones who made her excited, but she didn't know how to handle it. So if you've been told you're intimidating, confusing, or hard to read, that's not a flaw. That's a sign of polarity. It means your masculine energy is strong enough to activate a response she doesn't fully understand. Most men chase validation. They over-explain, over-text, or try too hard to be liked. But the man who doesn't need to prove himself, who stays centered when someone tests his boundaries, becomes a psychological mystery. And mystery to the feminine mind is addictive. You see, the most magnetic men aren't loud or flashy. They're grounded. There's something about them that feels calm, yet unpredictable, like they could protect you or completely change your world. It's the quiet self-assurance in their eyes, the way they move without seeking attention. Women feel that presence even when they don't consciously register it. That's why sometimes attraction feels like confusion. She might pull away not because she's uninterested, but because her emotions are louder than her logic. Her nervous system senses your energy before her mind rationalizes it. That's why the same woman who ignores you in public might check your social media later or bring you up to her friends. If that's ever happened to you, if you've ever had women remember small details about you, mention your name unexpectedly, or act differently around you than around others, that's one of the clearest signs you're far more attractive than you've allowed yourself to believe. Because when a man carries real masculine energy, calm, grounded, and unapologetically himself, he doesn't need to chase attention. Attention naturally finds him. You ever meet a woman who keeps finding small excuses to talk to you? Even when the conversation doesn't really matter, she'll ask about something simple, something random, just to keep the connection alive. That's not coincidence. That's emotional investment. When a woman is drawn to you, she starts seeking proximity, any reason to be in your space, even if it's disguised as something casual. Most men don't see it. They assume she's just being polite or friendly. But as a psychologist, I can tell you, women rarely waste emotional energy on men they feel nothing for. Every text, every glance, every question carries meaning. If she starts mirroring your tone, laughing at your smallest jokes, or recalling things you said weeks ago, she's emotionally tracking you. That's her subconscious trying to stay connected. Attraction makes her memory sharper. She'll remember the way you said something, how you looked at her, what you wore. It's not obsession, it's her brain's way of keeping tabs on a stimulus it can't stop responding to. And the deeper truth? The more grounded and authentic you are, the stronger that effect becomes. Because your calm energy contrasts the chaos of her thoughts, its stability. And that's rare, especially in today's world. There's also this moment many men overlook when she gets quiet. Silence is often misread as disinterest, but for women it can mean emotional processing. When a man's energy hits deeper than she expected, she'll pause, sometimes look away, sometimes change the topic. It's not rejection, it's her nervous system trying to make sense of the emotional signal she just felt. And here's another sign. She subtly starts to match your rhythm. If you lean back, she leans back. If you speak slower, she mirrors your tone. It's subconscious synchronization, her body aligning with yours to maintain connection. That's attraction at the biological level. Her body communicates what her words don't dare reveal. You may also notice she opens up more around you, not about everything, but about small personal things, her past, her opinions, even her insecurities. That's trust born out of attraction. When a woman feels drawn to a man, she wants him to see her, not the perfect version she shows the world and the real one. If you've ever had women tell you things they never tell anyone, that's not random. That's emotional intimacy. It's one of the deepest signs you affect her more than she intended. And yet the biggest mistake men make in those moments is trying to impress her more. You don't need to. She's already impressed by what you don't do, by your restraint, by your composure, by your lack of neediness. The most powerful thing a man can offer in those moments is presence, just being there, still, aware, grounded, while she unravels emotionally in your energy. That's what separates attraction from attachment. Attachment chases, attraction draws. And when your energy draws her in, without you forcing it, that's when you realize how magnetic you truly are. There's a reason why women hide their attraction, and it has nothing to do with playing games. It's protection. You see, when a woman truly feels drawn to a man, she also feels vulnerable. And vulnerability to the feminine mind is both beautiful and terrifying. It means giving someone the power to affect her. That's why some women seem colder the more they like you. It's not that they've lost interest, it's that they're guarding it. If you've ever had a woman act distant after showing signs of warmth, that's not mixed signals. That's emotional regulation. Her heart is saying, I want him, while her mind is whispering, be careful. And that conflict is often triggered by men who project quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need to chase, persuade, or perform. That's what unsettles her the most, because it means she can't control the connection. In modern dating, many women are used to being desired, complimented, chased, So when she meets a man who doesn't give her that predictable validation, who treats her like a human being, not a pedestal, it shakes her sense of power. And paradoxically, that loss of control intensifies her attraction. You become the unknown variable in her emotional equation, the one she can't solve. That's why sometimes her behavior seems contradictory. She'll laugh with you one moment and withdraw the next. She'll flirt, then go silent. But underneath all that, she's thinking about you, testing your emotional gravity, wondering why your presence lingers longer than it should. The truth is, the more emotionally intelligent a man becomes, the easier it is to see these patterns, not as rejection, but as attraction in disguise. And that's where most men lose the game. They get reactive. They chase after every pullback. They overthink every pause. But what truly separates an attractive man from the rest isn't how he responds with words. It's how he responds with energy. A calm, grounded man doesn't take her distance personally. He recognizes it as part of the dance. He stays steady, and that steadiness becomes magnetic. The feminine tests not to punish, but to feel safe. Every small challenge is her subconscious asking, can I trust his strength? Not just physical strength, but emotional containment. Can you stay calm when she's stormy? Can you hold your frame when she doubts you? If you can, she'll melt. Because at that point, she's not responding to your looks or charm anymore. She's responding to the safety of your presence. That's what real attraction does. It pulls two nervous systems into a silent conversation. And in that space, words barely matter. It's not about what you say, it's about what your energy communicates when you say nothing at all. When she starts to feel calmer around you, when her guard softens in your presence, when her laughter sounds unforced and her eyes linger longer than they should, that's not confusion, that's surrender. And the truth is, the most attractive men are the ones who know how to hold that space without needing to control it. Us. Would you like me to continue with Section 5, the emotionally climactic ending, where she reveals the final truth about male attractiveness, self-worth, and how a man's energy redefines his relationships and his life? There's a moment in every man's life when he finally realizes attraction was never about chasing approval. It was about alignment. When who you are on the inside finally matches how you carry yourself on the outside, that's when everything changes. Because suddenly you stop seeking permission to feel desirable. You stop competing. You stop performing. You just exist, and the world starts to respond to that quiet certainty. The truth is, most men never get there. They spend years trying to earn validation from women, friends, society, never realizing that what women actually respond to is a man who doesn't need any of it. That calm, grounded confidence isn't arrogance. It's self-acceptance. It's the energy of a man who has faced his shadows and learned to live with them. When you carry that kind of energy, people feel it. Women sense it before you even speak. Because attraction isn't about physical perfection. It's about emotional resonance. It's the way your energy interacts with hers. The steadier you become, the safer she feels to be feminine. The more you trust yourself, the more she trusts your presence. That's how polarity works. You're not trying to make her like you. You're allowing her to feel you, and that's something you can't fake. Every man watching this needs to hear this truth. You don't become attractive by adding more. You become attractive by subtracting what's false. The posturing, the neediness, the overthinking, the pretending. When you let those things go, what's left is raw presence, and that's magnetic. Women don't want a perfect man. They want a man who's real, consistent, and emotionally unshakable. So if you've ever wondered why people listen when you speak, why women linger when you're around, or why some seem to act differently with you, stop doubting yourself. That quiet pull you carry is real. You might not see it in the mirror, but others do. You might not believe it yet, but deep down, you feel it. Because you were never meant to beg for attraction. You were meant to embody it. And that's the final truth. When a man stops chasing validation and starts living from self-worth, he becomes irresistible. His energy changes rooms, not because he's loud, but because he's present. Women sense that. Men respect that. The world adjusts to that. It's not ego, it's alignment. You stop trying to prove you're enough because you finally know you are. So tell me, Have you ever felt that shift? That quiet moment when you realized you didn't have to chase anyone anymore and they started chasing you? I want to know your story. Share it in the comments below. And if this message hit something inside you, like subscribe and share this video with a friend who needs to be reminded of his own power. Because the truth is, he's probably way more attractive than he realizes too.